In recent weeks, Deepseek's R1 reasoning model has taken the AI world by storm. But reasoning models like this and OpenAI's O1 and O3 act a little bit differently to AI models that you may have used in the past, like ChatGPT, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, or Google Gemini's 1.5. Now, some quick background on reasoning models. Now, the key difference between these and models of the past is that they're encouraged to think longer before providing a response. Model makers like OpenAI, Anthropic, DeepSeek, Google, they don't actually provide the system of thinking. The AI model works it out for itself. And OpenAI's key result when developing O1 was that the longer the model thinks, the better the response. So DeepSeek have applied analogous logic to their own model. In order to capture maximum benefit from longer thinking time, there's a couple of things that you need to do when prompting. So today we're going to be going through 3 key evidence-based prompting principles, bit of a tongue twister that one, to get the most out of reasoning models like Deepseek R1. Then we're going to go through a quick example of how to use this in your professional or daily life.
We've taken the liberty of going through the latest research, and we've come up with 3 main tips for prompting reasoning models. The first tip is that we're going to want to prompt simply and directly. So this means that when you have a task, you're going to want to give direct instructions and not give unnecessary and superfluous random specifications like think step by step or think like a human, etc. So this study shows a comparison between GPT-4o, a normal model, and O1 Mini, a reasoning model. We can classify direct prompt as a zero-shot prompt. So for normal models like GPT-4o, as we add increasing layers of complexity to the prompt, it can increase in efficacy. Whereas with a reasoning model, zero-shot is the best. Adding these layers of complexity to one's prompt actually decreases the performance of the model. Now, let's look at this in practice. Say we have a math problem about compound interest. I still can't even get my head around this sometimes. Now, of course, for really complicated and specific problems, then maybe you would need to give some kind of instructions. But for a problem like compound interest, or say basic data analysis, tasks that the AI likely knows how to solve already, there's no need to give these extra examples like identifying the principal amount, essentially going through the formula for the AI model. Instead, a prompt like this, just simply directly asking the question, will perform better. With models like 3.7 Sonnet, Deepseek R1, etc., you can save yourself the headache of really complex prompt engineering and just ask the question directly. The second piece of advice I have for you is to not give a ton of contextual examples. Now, contextual examples can really help for stating the formatting you want. That wouldn't be intuitive without such an example. However, adding too many of these examples can actually have an adverse effect on model prompting. So of course, zero-shot prompting before was the best, but if necessary, you could tailor your prompt. As you can see here, the middle pink line. We can discount the ensembles here for the sake of simplicity. But if you add too many examples, these, in this case, 5 shots, then you can see that the model performance and accuracy goes down. So let's give an example. Say you wanted to translate English idioms and you give the prompt these 5 examples, you give it the idiom to translate. It will actually perform better if you just give 1 or 2 of these examples and then you give the idiom to translate. And the hypothesis for this is that because of the extended reasoning capability, it's able to identify patterns with less data. So the final prompt goes a little bit counterintuitively against my first point, prompting simply and directly. Okay, you don't want to give excessive instructions, but one interesting strategy would be to actually implore the AI agent to use extended reasoning. So we anecdotally explained why longer thinking time increases model performance before, but there's actually some empirical analysis here done as well. And in pretty much every instance, increasing the number of reasoning tokens increases the accuracy. So how would we implement this? Before, you might have added some kind of urgency. You might have lied to the AI and said, there's going to be grave consequences if this doesn't happen. If you want to really utilize those reasoning tokens, you can explicitly state this. Tell the AI to take its time and think carefully about this problem. Spend as much time as you like. All these kinds of things will encourage the AI to take longer to think about your question and therefore produce a better result. So those are 3 tips for using reasoning models. I mean, AI is moving super fast, but the next paradigm is definitely going to be using these reasoning models. And you tend to get a lot more out of them as well, especially for complex tasks. If I'm going to learn about, the history of the Brazilian financial crisis, I'll simply just open up a reasoning model, encourage the extended reasoning, directly prompt it, and maybe offer 1 or 2 examples if I need about the formatting that I would like. If you want access to the latest reasoning models, then Ottio is definitely the best place to go for that. As we mentioned before, we've got Deepseek R1 distilled, which was kind of in vogue in February. Now Claude 3.7 Sonnet is kind of the next big thing for March, but you know that you're on the cutting edge when using Ottio because we ship each model as they come out. I'm going to link the slides that I went through in our Discord channel as well, and those will have links to all the studies mentioned. And I'd actually encourage you to upload them to Ottio and ask questions with natural language to the sources, as they can be a little bit technical, and maybe difficult to understand, even for me. I'll link our Discord server, join link down below in the description. But thank you so much and have fun with the reasoning models. It's a super exciting time in AI and your agency just increases as these models get a lot better. So yeah, go crazy and I'll see you next time.